Hi everyone, it's Cobra, and this is the reason I created the channel. Welcome to my third review on Rent. I done the other ones and they were great. What the fuck happened? I'm going to say through all the bullshit, okay? I know that this whole thing, right? Brendan broke his foot, that was unfortunate. It meant that they couldn't do the live performance. They were clearly saving themselves for this live performance, and so they had shaky vocals and poor lights, distracting light shows, and it was just, it was dreadful. Their actual version of Rent, like, the song Rent, the second song, was decent, okay? The first two songs and all that seemed okay, but they just felt like they lost the pace, especially What You Own. I'm sorry, can someone tell the crowd to shut the fuck up? When will people on TV understand that what we theatre fans want is simply to listen to the songs being sung? We don't want to hear screaming crowds constantly over and over and over again. I could not hear the bloody song, okay? And yes, it was awesome, okay? It was awesome having, the two go into the crowd, Brendan and Jordan Fisher. I love Jordan Fisher, okay, so I was excited to see him as Mark, but, my god, it didn't turn out the way that it was meant to, and it's unfortunate. The last 15 minutes were amazing because it was live, and they knew what they were doing. They knew this was live. Having the original cast come back as well at the end, Jesse L. Martin as Collins, awesome, right? Seeing Adam Passeau, that's how you say his name, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the end of it. Awesome. But what the hell was with this? Also, while I appreciate Angel's character, the performance was a bit shaky. They didn't do that all that well. I'm saying they because the person that plays as Angel identifies as non-binary, so I decided to go that route with this review. Anyway, it was just absolutely fucking dreadful performance. Today for you, tomorrow for me sounded like a cat scratching my ear, and I just, you have no idea. Okay, La Vie Bohème was so goddamn bad, right? I actually just cringed through it. I had to clean out my ears with the 2008 version of that song because this one was just absolutely awful. The acting is okay in parts, but sometimes it feels shaky, rather off. The vocals feel shaky, as I've said. Everything just feels like they just didn't know. It's because they didn't know. I don't blame anyone in the cast. I don't blame anything, but it's just the way it turned out because of the unfortunate disaster, and I get that, but at the same time, I've still got to rate it properly based on what I seen, what happened, and what I seen was awful, and what happened was awful, and the sound production. Okay, there's no excuse for that part. There's no excuse to have bad sound mixing. Okay, if I can't hear the songs over the crowd, that's going to piss me off. I don't mind the occasional screaming like they did at the start of the Rent song. I'm going to call it Rent because it's the second song, right? Though I don't mind that, but during What I Own, I was like, sorry, What You Own, I was like, I'm waiting for this song, I'm waiting for What You Own. I want to see Jordan Fisher do What You Own, and what he done was great, okay? I'm sure his vocal performance in that song was good. I'm sure it was, but I couldn't hear it over the screaming crowd. And the actress who played Mimi, I don't know her name, but she just did not have the grit to play that character. I didn't really get the whole junky, desperate vibe from her, to be honest. I got kind of like a sweet, innocent vibe from her, and that's not what Mimi's character is, so I'm sorry, she did not do anything for me in that. Now, let's talk about the whole the production as a whole, right? Costume designs and all that, great, okay? This whole thing, I love the whole guitar thing, okay? Brendan Hunter, who this is the first time I've ever seen him in anything, I didn't know what to expect from him. He is awesome. He is an amazing guitarist, and he is an amazing singer, an actor, but unfortunately, because he broke his foot and it was a dress rehearsal and all that, it didn't go quite as expected. It didn't go quite as planned, and it sucks. It was an absolute disaster, and my ears hurt listening to some of them shaky vocals, and I'm sorry, but there's no excuse for it. Some of them there's no excuse for. Okay, I do want to say that the life support song and all that, I enjoyed that, but oh my god, what the hell was with Santa Fe? Santa Fe is just the worst edition of a song ever put on stage that I've heard. I love Santa Fe, especially in the movie version with Jesse L. Martin, but what the hell happened? It feels like they completely missed the context of the song or something. I don't know. It just felt, everything about it felt off. It felt wrong, and it felt, I don't know. I know that this wasn't the performance they were expecting and to be the big one, but I know they were saving their vocals for live, and goddamn, they do a good job when it was live. Also, you can't call it Rent live when you only have 15 minutes of it that is live. I'm sorry, but that is not live. No, that is bullshit. It's pre-recorded. It says portions of this are pre-recorded. Okay, that's what it says. A portion of it is the first 2 hours. That is not a portion. That is the majority. It should say the majority of this is pre-recorded with the last 15 minutes live. This should not be called Rent live just because the last 15 minutes are live. It's absolute crap. Okay? It's absolute. Also, what the hell? Okay, I know it's Fox and all that, but really, I mean, it worked with falsettos, cutting the swearing. I didn't mind, okay, because they still had the lines and all that, right? But are you really gonna tell me like you're gonna cut like half of the swearing and all that, and then just say, oh, it's okay, this is Rent, okay, it's not exactly meant to be child friendly, and it's not meant to be good for broadcasters, it's meant to be real and, you know, serious. And changing the word fucking, it might seem a little different, but changing the word fucking is super weird. What the hell are you doing, man? Don't do that. I know that isn't the cast's fault. That's the whole censorship thing, but I just absolutely find it crap. Also, are you really going to be okay with saying words like using queer as an insult and all that, but you're not okay to say dildo? I'm sorry, but where's the line, you know? Is it okay to show homophobia, but not to show, not to have strong language? Like, the topics of Rent or, you know, homophobia, racism, etc. And yet they'll show that, right? And that's perfectly fine. Like, if that's what it feels like they're saying it's perfectly fine. But it's not. If you're going to show something but not show the other, you can't like intertwine and switch things. I'm sorry, you can't. It's just, that's not how things work in theatre. Theatre is meant to be real and live, and this just didn't reach it. And I am a very passionate theatre fan, as I'm sure you can hear. So I was just very pissed off. Also, I would like to say, this was actually my first time watching Rent. I watched the first 40 minutes of this and thought, okay, I don't know what everyone likes about this, it's dreadful. Now I know why. It's because of this whole thing. I originally tried this version, and then later on, like as in the other day, I tried the 2008 version. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And the only reason that I give it another chance was because I heard the movie's cast album, because I heard Jesse L. Martin. And this cast, like I say, great cast, poor performance. It just is. And what was that song again? Take Me Out Tonight. But the one that Mimi sings, it just did not do anything for me. And yeah, okay, what was that song again? I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit off script with some of these as well. I don't actually have a script written down. I just wanted to vent on this review, so this is completely unscripted as well. The one where it's like After What You Own, where they're all arguing at the funeral. I think, no, it's not After What You Own, but it's the one where they're all arguing at the funeral. That was good. I enjoyed that, but the rest of it, I did not enjoy. I enjoyed some of the songs, like I say. Oh, okay, don't even get me started on I'll Cover You. I'll Cover You just felt so put on and forced to me. It just didn't even feel real. And let's talk about the fact that the choreography, okay? The choreography felt unpolished. I know, like, okay, I'm not a dance guy so much, but when I see theatre, when I see things like Hamilton, I can see it represent, you know, it represents something, you know? In my shot, Rising Up to the Pledge of Allegiance, that makes sense in Hamilton. In this, the choreography was just dancing, it seemed. It didn't seem like it had any underlining meaning. It didn't seem like it had any undertones, and some of the way that some of the portrayals of the characters are, such as Benny, okay, let's take Benny for instance. I actually enjoyed seeing Benny's version in, you know, like at the start, but after it just felt so one-dimensional to me. I know it's so weird. It's just, if you have like the same words, well, they changed a few of the swearing as I said, but they got pretty much the same words, and yet this can make the character feel one-dimensional depending on the cast. And sometimes, like I say, this cast is a good cast. They just had a poor performance, and that's due to the fact that they didn't know, they were prepping. Okay, they weren't ready to go fully live recorded on this thing, as far as I'm aware, at least. And that's what really ruined it, to be honest. I just could not tolerate some of it, to be honest. I cringed all the way through La Vie Boheme. I cringed all the way through, what was that song again? Seasons of Love. The reprise, not the original. The reprised one. Angel's whole... Oh, by the way, spoilers now, for Rent if you've not seen it. Angel's death was just... That was a good performance, okay? I didn't know, like, Valentine, I didn't know who that person was, but now I do, and although their vocals were shaky, the vocals weren't great, to be honest. The singing, they thought they had to perfect it, and obviously they didn't. That's not the cast's fault. I don't blame them. I'm going to keep saying that. I don't. But their vocals were shaky. But the acting performance in the end, in the last moments of Angel, was fantastic. Also, can we just show appreciation for the fact that they done the Jonathan Larson thing up at the screen at the end? That was amazing, okay? Showing him, and like, unfortunately he died for Rent, and, you know, premiered off Broadway, and it sucks, but his legacy lives on. It lives on through Rent. And it's like they say, it's like the person who plays Angel said, Rent is all about community, perseverance, and despite a poor performance, they still persevered, and they still got through the show. So I will respect them for that. Although a lot of it sucks, I respect them for still going through, for still powering through, and I respect Brendan for showing up the next day despite having a broken foot. And, you know, obviously he seemed a bit like he looked like when Mimi comes in, and, you know, obviously she like, they need to help her. He looked like he was about to stand up, but then he couldn't because he was ready to go. Sorry, my mic cut off for some reason. Yeah, because he was ready to go. He was fired up. He was ready. He wanted to go, but he couldn't, and unfortunately that sucks. But, you know, the production, it went through and it done, and it persevered despite sucking, to be honest. The song "Take Me or Leave Me," I'm sorry, did they cut? Was it just me, or did it feel like they cut half an hour of stuff before that? Like, it just felt like they just jumped to the song, and it didn't feel like that song was deserved, to be honest. It didn't feel like, although I did enjoy the performance of "Take Me or Leave Me," actually, it's decent. Like I say, some of the songs are decently performed. This was one of them, but it didn't feel like it was earned. I don't know how they got there. I think, did they skip over some stuff, or is that just me? Please tell me, because I'm very confused. I'm pretty sure they have a whole argument thing before that. Maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. I mean, I was cringing a lot, to be fair. But yeah, that's Rent 2019, and of course, like I say, difficulty in production. It's all technical, right? It's all technical stuff. I'm sure that if you were there live, it was awesome, but technically, on the TV side of things, they filmed it and it didn't come through well. Also, like I say, the crowds. When will the TV companies learn that what we theatre fans want is just a great Broadway show, or in this case, not really Broadway, I guess, but it's still live. A great show performed live, you know, and not have screaming crowd. We want to hear the songs, we want to hear the vocals, we want to see the stage, and we want the light was, to be honest, the light working was pretty bad in the song Rent. And I'm going to say that because actually that is one of the best performances of Rent that I've seen, and I've seen quite a few now. Actually, I've been obsessed with Rent for the past week, and I've seen like 100 different versions of the song. But that version was really good, and it was proper hyped up and all that, and I loved it. But other than that, you know, the lights were really distracting and often. Don't get me started on the performance of Over the Moon. It just felt so not there. It just felt like, okay, Marie is meant to be this like crazy character, over the top, overzealous, overacting, you know, and all that stuff. I kind of got that vibe, but they seemed to drop off halfway through. It's like she lost focus or something. I don't know. You know the part where she crawled on the floor? It's like she lost focus to me. Anyway, that is my review on Rent 2019. Well, that's everything I had to say. Don't really know if you I mean, this is just an off-script rant more like, but yeah. I give it a 3 out of 10 because of the performances. I only give it those extra 2 points because of the whole Rent thing and because Jordan Fisher did do a good job as Mark, and Collins and all that stuff. There was good stuff, but the vocals were shaky and basically everything I've mentioned. Sorry if this was a bit rambly. I mean, I just completely went off script for this. I couldn't. The reason I did that is I couldn't properly script this. I couldn't think of ways to word it properly to say my discomfort. So I thought I would just talk to you within like, hey, look, this is what I think off the top of my head. This is not scripted. This is just off the top of my head, everything that I think about it, and we'll see what comes of it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, or if you want to see more reviews in future, please like, subscribe. Let's try to get it to 200, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.